Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, we're talking about a topic that some big businesses and people who have a lot of money and they're looking for a lot of help is not going to want you to listen to. But we are going to go all in today. Let's start off with comedians. Comedians over the years took their platform and did something that was a no-no. The affiliations, the establishments, the connections that they had, they started using their platform to expose. They started preaching a message that sounded a bit like a minister on Sunday morning. They started looking at the world with a different set of eyes and realized that it wasn't so funny. Matter of fact, it was very sad, very disturbing, very upsetting. And how can I communicate the truth to people and still make them laugh? Oh, the comedian, God used that court jester or many jesters. And now what you're seeing is this battle between the very ones that God used in different ways, in different seasons. Some of what they talked about was related to money. Money, money, and more money. Greedy corporate entities, greedy establishments, shady groups, occultic affiliations, and what goes on in the big mansions. Oh, some of you all, you were laughing, but you were also listening very closely. And if you look at all of what has happened over the years when comedians started opening up their mouths, well, isn't it interesting how they're used in different ways to shut up, to shut out among their group? So, corporate greed, how do we get some individuals to help the establishment? Well, first you've got to get people that know how to communicate with those that are like them, or maybe not so much anymore. But how do you go back into the community and get these people for a bargain basement discount to help me with whatever the product, the service, whatever it is that the investors are on my back about? Some of them have been used in ways that we know about and in other ways that we don't know about. I use the example of comedians because that's something that people can relate to, a laugh, right? And somebody making you laugh. And somebody also communicating something to you in a fun way that maybe you hadn't thought about until you really think about it. What did he just say again? Let me do some research. He just triggered a thought. Wait a minute. You get some that are used to stir up the pot while making one laugh. Oh yes, there's a degree of truth, and we'll let the public know, but so much. And then we're going to shut that one up. So these individuals that are used to recruit, what are they saying? What are they doing? Well, they're appealing to what they know about your ethnicity. Your ethnicity was brought up during a time, let's say, where hard work is a big deal. You give it your all, 110%. Interesting. Some entities, they have even used that number for you to reach, even though we know better. Those that have been there, done it, seen a movie, we know what 110% looks like. We know that you give up families for 110% over time. You end up not being such a nice person because it's always about the goal, the work. And of course, it's about buying more stuff on top of stuff because we got to keep up with the Joneses. So as people pin information down about your particular ethnicity and what your ethnicity is known for, they're also thinking about how much we don't want to pay you. Stay with me. Not how much we want to pay. No, how much we don't want to pay you. We may have at one point paid your particular ethnicity, your title, your location, average wages, but not any longer. We don't want to do that. We saw what the numbers look like ever since the dreaded C word showed up. Or we were already not doing so well before the dreaded C word. So we don't want to pay you what you believe your group should be paid based on skill, talent, location, opportunities, competition, whatever. How do we get these people at a bargain basement discount? We play up what they want. And these days, many people want to be at home. While others, they don't want to be at home, but you're going to give me some crisis pay. Or you're going to give me enough money that I can fill my gas tank. Or you're going to give me enough money to pay my groceries. Once again, how much money is it that we don't want to pay these people? Okay? And how much money do we want to make from these people? Now, when you start to take each company and you do your research and you start to notice patterns of what they're cutting away, cutting back, you also will notice how they emotionally play in to you. Only the strong survive, right? The plan is to see how many are going to stay with us. And then we're going to make sure that there are certain measures in place that will cap off how much money we pay them. And so this is tracked and that's tracked, and the patterns are established. And we know that this one on average is only going to give us XYZ amount of dollars. And this one right here is only going to provide us XYZ service. And let's take a look at how much money we're paying this person as compared to what they're bringing in. And if it's worth them staying, then let's make it a little bit easier for them. But if it's not, let's make sure that this one is frustrated enough, stressed out enough, and whatever else. Oh, but no, they don't think like that initially, no. But over time, if that one who's the manager, the leader, the supervisor, or what have you, is frustrated enough, he or she will figure out ways to move you or a group out, because now you're messing with my money. Notice everyone is rewarded when they perform. And no, you may not be in sales. And no, maybe you're not in customer service. But somebody somewhere is looking at your performance. And they are equating that performance with dollars and cents. How many hours are you spending at the workplace compared to your counterpart who is putting in not just what we expect, but going above and beyond? And so what happens is that if there's enough pressure for OT, then someone is going to go ahead and do it. If you're paid less hourly than what you're accustomed to or used to, it's going to force you to do what? Work overtime. Won't have to tell you. Eventually, you're going to get tired of looking at those paychecks and you're going to just do it anyway. Systematic, isn't it? Psychological, isn't it? Dirty in some cases. Because when you are one who you're expecting something in return and you're not getting that, and when someone's dangling a carrot before you and every time you get close enough to that carrot they pull it away, who's hurting on the inside? Corporate establishments aren't. You are. You're going to take that upset and you're going to go home with it. And what do some people do? They take it out on their family members. They take it out on their pets. They take it out on their credit cards. Spend, spend, spend. Which puts you in the cycle of what? I got to go back and deal with these people and this service and this whatever all over again. What can we do to create cost savings measures that are going to make our investors happy, our business owners happy, this person and that one and this establishment and that foreign entity happy? They look at how much the building costs, how much it costs to keep the people in the building. They look at the performance. They look at, and you can list all of the different things that they look at. And in the end, you got your paycheck. And you're saying to yourself, what am I supposed to do with this? Well, I know I'm supposed to pay bills. That's obvious. But is there anything left over to do much else? And while you're working, and for some of you are working some more, there are those that feel neglected. There are those who are frustrated. There are those who love you and they just shake their head. Why are you doing this to yourself? And then there are those who are contemplating whether openly or secretly to get away. I don't want to be around you. I don't like what this job has done to you. I feel like you're selling your soul to the devil. You want and you want and you want some more. There's no off switch. And then there are those who, they don't want to do anything. They got played and played some more. And there's no healing for them right now because they're still angry about what happened at the last job and the job before and the job before. So they have decided that I'm not going to do anything right now until I can get my head on straight. And for some people, we respect that and we know that you got to do what you need to do. But at the same time, though, figure out something that's going to bring some money into the household. Be creative. Ask the Heavenly Father. Oh, please, Lord. Give this man, give this woman ideas on how to make income. that is going to help those in that household that are spending a lot of time feeding the corporate wheel of greed. When I looked at some of the psychological damage that was put upon some individuals as a result of some of these shoddy systems, I saw early on some of the patterns that they used in order to weed out some people. I also looked at some of the things that they used to keep some people. If you have come from a background where you're used to being used and abused, and you're on a platform like mine where you're talking about the times that you were used and abused and whatever else, then you just might be a good candidate for a job that tends to have a lot of stress and crazy making behaviors, because this is something that I'm familiar with. I'm not going to be moved to tears like somebody who, oh my God, I've never experienced anything like this. How can these people be so just, oh God, so rude and so ignorant and disrespectful, you see? But to take advantage of people and put them in these sorts of atmospheres and not pay them what you know they should be paid is evil. Let's just call it what it is. It's evil. And this is why you get some individuals who say, I don't want to be a part of this. This doesn't feel right. When I take a job, I want to feel good about what I'm doing. I don't want to feel like I'm doing something sneaky. And then, of course, there are those that are going to talk to you and tell you that what you're doing isn't sneaky or evil or wrong. It is to help the establishment, because if it isn't helpful what you're doing to the establishment, then you don't have a job and nobody else has a job. So just ride with us on this one. So you've got someone who's got to call people into an office and tell them that we regret to inform you, but we no longer need your service after you've used them for XYZ amount of time, and they took their share of abuses, and people looked the other way when they reported various things that were happening, you see. And all the while, the poker face and the last check, and on to the next one. And God sees. Some people can't sleep at night because of what they've done. Some people have turned to alcohol and drugs as a result of what they've done. Some people can't use their real names because of what they've done and continue to do. Take one for the team. By any means necessary. I know what the handbook says. I know what the rules say. But this is what I need you to do. And if you don't do it, then here are the consequences. Setting systems in place where everybody turns on the one that rises up. Oh, yeah. And how do they do that? Well, there are what we call group goals, team goals, the organization's goals. And everybody gets some money if we can meet the goals. And when somebody is trailing behind, let's shame them. Let's put the scarlet letter on that one. Now you see who the weak link is. You guys rally behind this one. Or some people, I'm not going to encourage anybody. I'm going to just tell them, you need to step it up or step out or step away. There are those who will come up with things that they think are smart and innovative and intelligent. And well, it's worked all these years. So if it's not broke, why are we going to fix it? But your system is broken. People keep coming. As long as we can get some work out of them for a bargain basement discount, thanks for your input. But you're welcome to leave. There's collateral damage I'm hearing in the spiritual realm. People who should have never been put in situations. They were minding their own business. But when somebody started wielding the axe, there were those who were innocent that paid a dear price. Some people commit suicide over things like this. You did what? You cut my job? You demoted me? Do you know what kind of pressure I'm under? Oh, you know, but you don't care? And we speak for the voiceless. We speak for those 6 feet deep. You don't know what some of these people are going through, and not everybody has a strong backbone. Not everybody can endure the upset that is manufactured at times by some of these people who are in leadership. A controlled chaos. All we want is for this group of people to do what we want and churn out enough product and enough service that we can make as much money as possible. Oh, I'm sorry, good worker Jane, good worker Bob, good worker Tim, good worker Lita. Oh, we're so sorry. Just giving fictional names. But some of you all, you saw, you're still there. And you know what you did. And some folks say things like, oh, it's nothing but the grace of God. No. It's just mercy for now, for the things that you did, or the things that you saw other people do, but you didn't say anything. But those good workers are gone. And the trauma and the drama and the anxiety and the upset and the rage because some corporate group entity wanted to save money. And we ask in Jesus' mighty name that the Lord encourage someone, move on them to do what is right, what they know to be right, to be the beacon of light, to be that one that stands up for truth. We all have our positions to play, God's people. The demonic doesn't know, doesn't understand, can't fathom. We go in and we clean up house. Sometimes we are used as the one who is vengeance. We don't see that that's what's happening. But sometimes God's vengeance, His plan of vengeance, you're a part of. The reaping season, you're a part of. You're a character in that department. You're the employee working in that department. Stay with me, because I know some people, what? When God's vengeance comes about, we've talked about this sort of thing, and we say, Lord, we know that you said that you are to avenge. Sometimes we are part of that process. It makes some people nervous and they run because they can recognize what's about to go down and they run. Other people, you're there for a season and you work the plan and you plan to work and you do what you need to do and then you're gone. Other people, you might be the collateral, but how you went out, they're still talking about your story, Lord Jesus. There's some people that are being empowered as a result of what you went through. There are some people that are getting paid as a result of what you went through. There's some people that have brought down organizations as a result of what you went through. Oh, somebody got a story. Somebody got a testimony. Somebody took meticulous notes on the way up and also on the way down. Somebody else said, I didn't know what God wanted me to do, so I waited. Come on, some of you all know about that. I waited. And when I waited, says somebody in the spiritual realm, it was in the wait that vengeance came. My name was a part of the conversation. And God said, there's the green light. And allowed the minions to come in on that individual. You should have never spoke the child of God's name. You see? When greed takes its pig-like form and it's wallowing in the dirt and it's just eating up everything in sight, including human beings. If anybody tells you that pigs or hogs don't eat humans, look that up, because there are those that do. When corporate shows its ugly head and greed is raised up so much to the point where certain entities are fat and happy while others are lean. Interesting choice of words. This is when systems that were once fine, there were no problems. Now we got to look a little closer at what we've done. God comes in and he says, look at what's happening. And someone says, I see it. Then God says, I need you to do something about it. And someone says, I'll get to it. No, I need you to do something right now about this. But I'm too busy, too tired, too whatever. I need you to do something about it. Next thing you know, the very one who was responsible for the knowledge that they received, now they are having people come in on them. Because you should have done what you were supposed to do. Come on, we know about Jonah. We got to get rid of this person. I don't know what it is about this person. When they came in on Jesus, the crowds, there were times where God, he set it up so that now you see Jesus and now you don't. Sometimes it isn't even about a person leaving an establishment, but that they go to another department or they end up working behind the scenes to help out the organization. Sometimes there are those things that God sets up to bring down corporate entities and the greed established by just simply raising up competition that takes money or steals money from them, just as they took money from others. There's so many different technological systems in place to take people's money, to act as collectors and collect people's money who thought that they were getting upper hand on systems, freeze things, cause them to break. Oh, you're going to come up with a way to pay the greedy corporate entity. And then when the people say, I've had enough and I don't want this, and I see the mind games, I see the tricks, people think they're so smart, so intelligent, but I got news for you. And the next thing you know, they're pulling away their money, their business. They're no longer singing the praises of that corporate entity. Some of you all, you can fill in the blank and you can put all sorts of companies, because we're not talking about one or two or three. We're talking about many who play these games of breaking people down and getting them so frustrated and using them based on things that they learned about them through psychological analysis and even simply doing research on the internet. And then the next thing you know, what was up comes down. And now there's a cutting away. Sometimes it's not always an organization just no longer being in business any longer. Sometimes it's certain things that are just simply cut off. Certain products, certain services. The brains behind the invention, cut off. Nope, you don't get to siphon any more information from me. Bye-bye. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm no longer going to provide you with the supplies in order for you to build this product. No, we're going to end up charging a whole lot of money for you all to use our third-party service. You see, these sorts of things happen all the time with these organizations behind the scenes. There's people and groups that wage war. This business has been in our family for many years. How dare you all come and try to take this business from us? And then, next thing you know, somebody has destroyed everything. There's no business left to take, okay? You see, when God is on the move, everybody from the top down, from the down and back up again, everybody's paying attention. I don't know how we got to this place where now our organization's being exposed. Now we can't seem to keep anybody. Now there's all these problems. We're losing money. I don't know if I can take this any longer, says a leader. I can't wait till my contract is out. What did I sign up for? Systems are outdated. A lot of systems behind the scenes are outdated. And when they're outdated and people who are licensed and degreed and they know a lot about technology, what they'll do is they'll, of course, warn that entity, that establishment, the leadership, the investors, what have you. Listen, this is outdated. This isn't working. You guys are going to have to invest some money in order to get a better system. Pay us more. We'll be able to fix it for you. And corporate greed says no. When that happens, that one moves on. The one that has the brains who can be able to handle it, or the group. They move on and they get hooked up with other groups and build them up. Now, for a leader, that's a fool's mistake. You rather have the brains walk away than to pay them more money. Don't want to pay for schooling. Don't want to pay off loans. Don't want to take care of families. Don't want to relocate families. Don't want to buy sufficient equipment. All of these things that I'm listing, these are all the ways that they have saved money. And so then before long, the organization is going downhill. And some of you all, you don't like the way customer service is, or you don't like the fact that this costs so much money and this is broken and I don't, and all the complaints that you have about these sorts of things. But there's no push, there's no movement in such a way where you demand, as well as a whole slew of you all demand, that things change. Some folks encourage people to get jobs at the very establishments where the outdated equipment is, where the broken systems are, where the verbal abuse happens, where the emotional trauma and drama, right? I just want him to get a job. So you send him into the lion's den. Oh, okay. And guess what's going to happen? When he comes out that lion's den, don't be surprised when he goes off on you. Some people, oh, get a job. Okay. But you're not helping though. There's a lot of lip service. Some people, they work at the jobs and all they do is complain about everything that's wrong with the job, but you don't say anything. Or when the young woman or young man spoke up and said, these things are not working and this is what's causing problems and all that, eyes rolled over. Oh, you think you know so much, blah, 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 blah. Oh, boring. Okay. And now one problem after the other problem after the other. They were trying to make life better, but somebody didn't want to spend money. Taxes on top of taxes, and people get upset. Why did that great company leave? Why did those taxes increase? Or it was just one of those decisions that we came to based on this, that, and the other. Really? 20, 30, 40 plus years and you just came to that realization? Get out of here. How about you just wanted to hire cheap labor? So what? Customer service goes downhill. So what? You see? Let us all take a moment, bow our heads, and think about ways that we can make a difference wherever we are. Whether it's a corporate giant or a mom and pop shop, what can you speak truth to power on? What system is broken and how might it be fixed? Allow your Heavenly Father to lead you, to guide you. You're not just here to take up space. You didn't end up at that job, even if you didn't listen to the one true God about it. You didn't end up at that job just to be like everybody else. But for some of you all, you are called to make a difference, to make some waves, to get some things done. For some of you others, you're called to go, to move. The writing's on the wall. Some individuals, you've been staying at that company for too long. You could be best used elsewhere with your particular personality, your education, your experience with that corporate giant. You could start up your own business. May God bless you with the ideas, with the discipline, the knowledge, the wisdom, the inspiration, the encouragement, the patience, the monies, the location, the cost savings measures that don't hurt people, the kind of things that will get God's will done, not yours. Let me say that again. That will get God's will done, not yours. God will continue to raise up people to speak. He will continue to use people in a great and mighty way, while allowing others to fall by the wayside because they did not listen, because they sold out a long time ago to corporate entities and establishments. Many are called, but chosen are few. And those who have listened to the very end, if you needed confirmation, you are a chosen one. I thank you as always for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen. You've been listening to YouTube Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. We do welcome giving on this channel. And thank you.